What up, Who Bangers and Who Bangettes? It's your boy Sniz. And each and every Tuesday, the NFL Pick'em Show I'll be hosting right before the live sweat with my main man, Damon, and other special guests. We got weekly prizes, we got bragging rights, and I hope to see y'all each and every Tuesday before the live sweat. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hello and welcome to week 6 of the Pick'em Show. Ick is not feeling well, so I will be taking hosting duties. And this is my good friend Ramon. I know some of you guys have seen him around. He's going to be filling in. He's going to be one of the first guests, maybe hopefully one of many. How are you today, Ramon?
Yeah, good to be with you, Damon. I know I'm here in a little bit of reserve role. I'm coming out of the bullpen, but just going to talk office pool with you. Pick the winners. It's tougher than it looks, folks. Believe me. I mean, yeah, we got some, we got some bingo spots maybe here, but we got a few good ones we're going to have to pick, make a pick here. Maybe get a little consensus.
Definitely. And first of all, I'd like to shout out, not just because she's my wife, but for the second time in 5 weeks, my wife, Sophia, she won. She got 12 games right this week, 12 out of 14. Remarkable. And to win twice in 5 weeks, and I haven't even come close. I've been hearing about it.
Let me get this straight. So the fam has won 2 of the 5 pools. Is there are these documented? Are we making sure it's all in on time? Not that she's not worthy of the win. Maybe she's listening to you. I don't know. Maybe.
No, I
maybe
wish.
you should be listening to her. That's what I should say.
Yeah.
You might be listening.
Yeah, and the updated season standings, she's in first with 52, followed by Joe L with 50. And then third place is Jake L. I'm sorry, Jake. Third place is Joe Worsner with 48. And then there's a couple of us with 47 pulling up behind. It's getting close, though. Yeah, no, dude, I told her, I was like, look, if you put those 12 games money line on a ticket without getting the other 2 wrong, $10, that's a huge ticket. It's massive. But you can't think like that, obviously, because you know how it goes. But it's like, I've tried to explain to her what you're doing is amazing. And she's just, I don't know, using intuition with the notes. I don't know. It's amazing. But everyone, each week you have an opportunity to join. I know it feels late in the season to join a pick'em, but each week there is a $20 prize. And there's only about 15 people a week that do it. So, it's come on in. I will tweet out the link. It's a CBS pick'em. I will tweet out the link to anyone who hasn't joined. It's not too late. What's up, everyone in the chat? Guillermo, Ragu, Noli, how you guys doing? Thanks for joining. All right. Let's get in. First game, Thursday night. Let's pull it up. We have the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored minus 10.5. Yeah, dude, that spread just is monstrous. I hate that I see that. I'm like, Denver plus 10.5. Yes, please. And this is coming from a guy who's backed them the last 2 weeks. And that has not worked out. I'm back. What jumps out to you when you see that?
Yeah, it's funny because I know the concept of the show and I've seen the show several times. I haven't caught it every week. But when I came in, I never understood that we were actually just giving. I was like, hey, what do you want? Sides, totals, prop, just pick a winner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay.
Yep.
We still want to talk about these games a little bit, see how much of a chance, right, we can give Denver in this game currently, maybe even to get the number here. I don't know. Did they show the slightest of improvement recently? I'm not sure. We're still dealing with 4-1, a Chiefs team that's owning this series right now. And, yeah, they're going to find a way to win this game. I imagine it feels like it could be a little bit low for the squares. They might actually want to jump on this. I know that sharps are probably the ones holding this number down. It does feel like maybe it could and should be a little bit higher. There's not much to like right now with Denver at this point, Damon. It's just a uncomfortable situation. Like I said, only the slightest of improvement right now. Only thing is can the Chiefs, could it be a dead spot of any kind when you're a double-digit favorite in the NFL? We know how hard it is to cover any number, especially double digits. So, of course, Kansas City is my pick in the game for the pool, and they'll win it. I guess the question is, can Denver, maybe with just some familiarity in the series or something like that, but what kind of changes could they make? What kind of things could they implement to try to stop Kansas City right now? I know Buffalo's getting the headlines again of late, kind of surging back to the top to rejoin the Dolphins, I guess. But you're looking at those top of the teams right now. The Chiefs haven't fallen out of the group or anything. It's just a matter of we just come to expect it.
Yeah, no, for sure. The only person showing any life in Denver is that kid, Jaleel McLaughlin. I love that kid, dude. All-time Division II leading rusher? The running back, dude, he looks good. He looks explosive. They're giving him inside runs. They're giving him all the plays, so that shows Sean Payton's faith in him. Is Sean Payton kind of tanking the season? I'm not sure. But the Broncos do get Justin Simmons back, it looks like. I think he was out last week. He's questionable. I'm not sure if he's coming back. Regarding the 10.5, that's crazy to me in this matchup. I believe last season it was a shootout, week 15 or something, week 16. I don't have it right in front of me, but I want to say it was like 38-35. But when that was also keep in mind, last two matchups, McKinnon had 2 touchdowns. Is this a McKinnon spot? It might be, but this is easy for the pick 'em. It's a Kansas City roll spot. Denver's, their defense is showing no life. That's a pretty easy Kansas City spot. Let's roll on to the next one. Do you know where in Europe this game is? Baltimore at Tennessee.
This is in London. It's in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium again. So the first week was at Wembley, and then the next 2 here are in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The news here, Damon, is that these games right now in London are running dead solid unders.
Yeah, the Lunder.
The Lunder. Did you coin that?
No, it's a part of my take thing. That's actually been a thing for a while. They call it the Lunder.
Where am I? Let me write that down because I think that's where we're probably headed again. Now, the games in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium had actually been running not under over the few that they've played. I believe they've played 7 there now with 6 overs. They were 6 overs and no unders at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium before last week's game, which was a solid under. So, I would think that here another with the Ravens and the Titans right now, it feels like an under game to me. But for purposes of the show here, look, Tennessee, maybe they've fallen off a cliff a little bit and they're trying to repair things right now. It feels like they kind of are. Ravens, I don't know. Did they get bumped up a little bit too high in the power ratings a little bit for their
It feels like
start?
it.
They feel good, right? I mean, you want some other team to pop up a little bit here, but not for me. I mean, maybe I'm looking at it from a spread perspective. I mean, I'm going to be loving the points here, but I want to be a little bit. I want to take a chance. I'm here on the big pick 6. Week 6 pick'em countdown show. Yeah. So I'm going to take Tennessee here, I think, to maybe pull off an upset here. Both teams having to travel over there. I think we've already seen the line move a little bit towards Baltimore here.
What did it open it at?
Well, I saw a 3.5 out there.
Okay.
I just want to see if it was definitely.
I think I just looked them up real quick. DraftKings. I didn't really go too deep on them.
Yeah, DK opened this number, actually, it says. So there were early 3.5s, but it looks like mostly around this number. There might be some buyback to 4 here, but I want to take some shots. With the way I looked at it, I'm looking to pick a few upsets on the card and give myself the best opportunities. So maybe I'm gambling a little bit with you, Damon. Maybe we're on maybe I'm trying to make sure I find an opposite side, but I've got a toss, more of a toss-up game, just more volatility, if you will, I think. and I have to play a little game theory here, right? To win this pool this week. This feels as live as any for an upset shot right now. But the Titans got a couple of wins and 3 covers. Both the teams have combined to go for 8-2 to the under so far. So low scoring game. I expect more volatility. I do have the Titans just on a little bit of a, this has been a bad run. I mean, we've almost talked about the demise of the Titans a little bit, but familiar opponent here. I'm going to take the Titans in the pool this week. So I'm trying to win this thing.
The Titans going into the season to me were grossly underrated. I believe in Mike Vrabel, and I did not think the Jags had that division locked up. Did I think the Colts would look this good and the Texans? No, I didn't. But that was a division that I did not think was just going to be a slam dunk. And the Ravens have looked really bad. Their offense, their receivers dropped. Okay, well, the exact number. But if the Ravens receivers who dropped balls this week caught every pass that they dropped, Lamar would have had 385 and 2 touchdowns. So their receivers look terrible. They put all this capital in receivers. They still don't look great. That's how you can't overcome that. They have no running game really. They're running a lot of they're running this weird offense to me. It just doesn't seem to. There's just a lot going on there. I actually do like the Titans too. I still believe in them. And what I saw from the Ravens last week was absolutely disgusting. Is it a bounce back spot? Maybe. But them traveling to Europe after that loss, that was just disgusting. And I'm not looking to back the Ravens right now, personally. I think the Titans are the type of team that will punch you while you're down. And if you're not up for the challenge, like Hopkins looks good and he looks motivated. He looks good. Burks, I'm not sure his health, but I think I love the kid Spears too. I do think that he is a legit part of Tennessee's. They hold Baltimore down enough to win this game. I'm going with you on the Titans here.
All right, then I'll have to find another spot to go against.
I got 1 or 2 dogs on here. No, I'm pretty favorite held though. Oof. Yeah.
Well, I don't. Look. They both lost to the mighty Colts, don't forget. But
I like the Colts, though. I do like the Colts, and that's a spot that I'll get to later. Okay, next game is San Francisco at Cleveland. The big question mark for Cleveland is, will Deshaun Watson play? Dorian or DRT, I don't know, I get it backwards. He did not look good. He looked like the NFL speed caught up to him. I did not see a lot of that game, but every time I looked up, it seemed like their chains 2nd and 16, 2nd and 20, 1st and 16. Every single time they were behind the chains. So I don't know if it was that or what. The bye week could help him going into this week. For me, there's an easy San Francisco, but that line is very weird. Even if Watson, the line says Watson's playing, right? That clearly says Watson's playing.
I don't know if it does, Damon. I think the line does maybe indicate that Watson's questionable status. I think that maybe pay some respect to what Cleveland is doing. This is going to be – it's too bad they don't have Watson because this was going to be the spot. This was kind of the spot, right? You want to find the spot to play against the Niners somewhere along the line. You have to, right? This was it, but not with DTR. It's just look what happened. It was so unfortunate because I want to believe in DTR as well. I mean, he does have a few tools that could get by in some of, like you're seeing some of the effective quarterbacks that kind of run that style. And remember in the first game when Watson was ruled out really just a couple of hours before the game, and they kind of prepped him a little bit, but they caught him by surprise, right? And so that's why Thompson Robinson looked a little bit more, he looked terrible. And right now he is overmatched, and unfortunately he's got to play the Niners. So we'll take the Niners in the pool. If I had, and again, right, I'm looking for spots to beat the whole field and win just one game, right? Because this game, if you've got, like you said, an average of 20 people in the pool, would have a feeling this one's going 16-4 or something like that, even with just now a 5.5 point spread. But David, I'm showing that line with with Taylor in there is probably more like 3.5 or 4. So I think his questionable status is right now it doesn't look good. I'm taking the Niners in the pool, and this was the spot to play the Browns straight up against the mighty Niners. The Niners coming off the high-profile crushing win. They're great, no doubt about it. I mean, Are they number one? Yeah, they're probably number one. And it seems like something disastrous would have to happen for them not to be contending right into the NFC Championship game. Anyway, I want to see it. Let's see. We want to see it. Eagles, Niners. Okay, all those other teams are fine, but that's what we want to see, and that's what hopefully we'll get.
They're the clear class of the NFL or the NFC, the Niners and the Eagles, followed by the Lions and maybe the Seahawks. I still think the Seahawks can get a little spicy sometimes if their defense can step up. San Francisco is hungry, and I know that gets used so much in the NFL, and it gets so overtalked.
Too many games.
The way they lost that game last year probably still sits with all of them. They lost with that, that will sit with them. They won it, and I know but like I said, that's used in the NFL or all sports. But I feel like they've just built a unit. Doesn't it feel like their defense complements their offense instead of the offense complementing the defense now? They've been winning with offense where the defense is able to pin their ears back and get a pass rush. They're dead. I'm picking them for the contest, and I do think as of right now, they're the best team in the NFL. I like the Bills until Tre'Davious White went down, but I think that they are, like you said, this could be a spot to catch them sleeping, but other season-long outlook, they're just, I don't know. There's something about them. They have it right now. They're having they're having fun. They believe in each other, and they're on fire. So I'll be interested to see Cleveland. No, this is a good test of Cleveland's defense. I do believe in Cleveland. I really do. Next spot is Miami and Carolina. Miami's a 13.5 point favorite. That might have been to open the week. I'm not chain news, but with Jeff Wilson activated, it's not that much of a downgrade, even though Chain looks great. Carolina, maybe the worst team in the NFL up there. They play tough, but they still have some ugly moments. Thielen has been amazing. This is going to be probably an easy pick for both of us in the pick 'em, but is there anything that sticks out for you for this game?
Yeah, I love watching the Dolphins. That's all there is to it. Hopefully Carolina doesn't look that good. Let's watch them roll it up again and try to get into some spots against them. They're not, the caliber of the Niners or the Eagles or anything like that. But, man, they're just this is great. I mean, they're almost like must-see. They're almost that must-see kind of feeling a little bit. Unfortunately, when you're a 2-touchdown favorite, nobody's going to want to watch that game on their YouTube quad or anything like that. Just catch the highlights. But look, the 70-point thing, the 70 show was just a situation where Denver thought they were going to be able to maybe mix it up in a little bit of, and then once you get caught up in something like that, there's no turning back. That was just unprepared, Denver not understanding the situation against Coach Logic, who obviously he is all that. He feels like he is that guy right now. It doesn't look like, he's just lucked out with a bunch of, super speedy talent that just happens to be out of this world. I've been with Tua the whole time as far as the, I like the accuracy. We're all scared he's going to die out there, but I'm not too worried. I mean, he's a football player. I mean, you can't tell these guys any different how to play. He's actually, obviously, he's toned it down right now, picking his spots. I mean, this is just fun. Can Carolina even get this number? I'm not sure. I'm not sure they can. I mean, I might look for the I feel like Mr. Dog, but here the total just keeps rising, I think, as well in this one. And it's not like they're, Carolina is going to go out there and produce a bunch of points this week. It's up to 48.5 right now. So
that feels low, doesn't it?
Well, I think it's starting to get into that
It's going to hit 50, right? It has to.
Yeah. Well, if it is, then I would only get it now, and I would lean to the over.
Of course.
I would lean to the over here, but it just could be a situation where if Miami does suffocate them, I don't want to be that guy and come on a pick'em show, and I guess that's fair though.
No, you pick who you pick, dude. You do the best you can, and you don't. There will be other spots. This isn't a
okay.
Like there will be spots. We'll be good. No, this is a
Well, they haven't in they're 0-5. We know that, but they've only had a push so far, even against the number now, Carolina. So I mean, that's how we measure things, right? And always is that spread record.
Yep. And Miami has shown the ability to just blow the doors off people. They aren't like some team that plays it's not like the Philly at 14 points where they haven't shown that ability to blow the doors off people necessarily, with the Tua, I do my best not to worry about injuries. If they happen, it's different. He has shown me the ability to make throws that I don't know if anyone's ever seen it, not because of throw power. His accuracy really is stuff of legends. Like the ball is dropping in. Yeah, he's amazing, and it's been fun to watch for sure. Like it's tough to. What's up?
Helps with all that offensive. Really, they have a Super Bowl caliber speed, right? No doubt. So
they use it correctly. They don't just have speed; they use it. They know how to use it. And I love their coach. Okay, this could be one of the spots maybe we're different on. This is an interesting
I want one more, Damon, on this. Achan is crazy. He's missing a golden opportunity to market himself. He should change his name to Achan, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, dude, he looks like Chris Johnson, doesn't he?
Oh my god.
I love. He's gonna miss? He looks like he'll miss 3 or 4 weeks, maybe.
But
they won't miss a beat there.
They have
They'll be okay. Yep. And honestly, I think they'll be okay. Let's go. Okay, so I just missed that. The whole Lance thing, dude. I thought he was gonna come in for the Cowboys on Sunday against them. The story was set up, right? I don't mean to be behind on this, but I thought Lance was going to come in comes Cooper Rush just to run the ball. I was like, this was the perfect time to get Lance some hype. They were getting blown their doors off, but I guess you want to give it to the backup. All right, let's see. Okay, Minnesota at Chicago with the Justin Jefferson news. Is this line with the Justin Jefferson news?
I believe that it is right now, because I believe it was 3 for the most part now, because we're seeing 2.5 pretty much everywhere, as you have on the screen there. And I don't know, Damon. All right, maybe this is my shot. Somebody's got to take the Bears. Look, if the Niners are that team that are playing totally the opposite of lucky right now, compared to last year, this doesn't. Okay, maybe they've had a good couple of spots here early on to make it seem like it hasn't been a total disaster, but they still, 1-4 coming in, and so are the Bears. So why wouldn't I think the Bears can manage a victory here? Look, that was great last year what the Vikings did. Hopefully, I'm on O'Connell. He's our guy, right? So I'm happy for him, and hope he can. Because if this does spiral out of control, all the success and everything that he earned as far as the coaching, I don't want to say he'll lose it all with a horrible season, but he'll be fighting, for a job probably if it goes too bad right now. And so they've got to look like this is a game that they can win. But the Bears, it's painful to watch, no doubt. Talk about not having Super Bowl caliber receivers or anything like that, right? I mean, Fields, okay, maybe it's not about him necessarily, or maybe it is, but it just feels like he could use some receivers really out there with his offense. And I'm going to try the Bears, though, in this contest for sure. I'm looking for home dogs. I'm looking for, to play against, right, the unluckiest team in the league in the Minnesota Vikings, because if they were the luckiest team last year, they're definitely not playing to that role this year. It's like exactly the opposite, and I don't think it's a surprise. And I think what you see, Damon, year in and year out, we don't equate it that much, and maybe it's not talked about as much, but I believe the way that the NFL constructs its schedule each year, when you match up with those other division opponents in your conference, the number ones match up the number ones, and you play the tougher schedule that way. I believe this is what adds up, because the margins are so slim, and that the playoff spots become decided by one game or two games. And the fact that you play an immediately tough schedule, the mediocre teams are going up and down the standings faster than the superpowers that just remain there. It doesn't matter. But the mediocre teams that are seeing such up and down seasons, it's because they're playing a stronger schedule one year and a weaker schedule the next, a stronger schedule the next year and a weaker schedule the next. So you're getting teams that are going.
That makes sense, actually.
7 and 8 now, 8 and 9, 9 and 8, back and forth a little bit.
Yeah. Without Jefferson, what is their offense gonna look like? It's gonna be ugly. I don't really like that outlook. They've added no one on defense in the offseason, really. They lost Patrick Peterson. They lost Zadarius Smith, who are two guys that, even though they're old, aren't great, or not great, but like, I guess Zadarius Smith isn't old, but they're not the caliber players they once were, I should say. But they were still a big part of their defense last year. Harrison Smith's a year older. It just feels like their defense is the same guys year in, year out, and they haven't added any pieces. The Bears, as ugly as they've looked, Justin Fields has the leadership quality that maybe can overcome his bad play at times. He misses throws, but he also makes throws. It's weird. It's really weird to watch. He takes hits, pops right up, and he's a tough player. He didn't quit on his guys. You could tell he's out there, and this is the same thing as last year. They started ugly. They had that ugly loss versus Washington on Thursday night, and he turned it around. I've gone back and forth on this guy so much, and I can't stop doubting him. I like Chicago here too, to be honest. It's really weird, though, that the books have it at -2.5 for Minnesota. That scares me, though, because that's saying the books want Chicago money almost, and it won't hang I don't know. That's how I've been kind of looking at it. To me, how would you not bet? Minnesota's only win was versus Carolina. They haven't, and I know Chicago beat Washington, but they look good. Their defense looked better.
If they want Chicago money, they just need to go back to 3, but that's not there for a reason. So, the problems I have with Minnesota just come from the fact that, maybe they were overrated last year because of the way they won the games. You remember the incredible comeback, whatever. But, I mean, that's just a sign of deep down rooted in still mediocrity there. And, they're able to overcome some things. And, they'll be okay. But as far as Fields, David, I'm totally with you. Unfortunately, in NFL, they measure the success of quarterbacks by victories. And, when you're clicking in at under 25%, that sucks. I think he would be better with another team, but there's no, his career will probably end before that ever happened.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone in the chat. Appreciate everyone joining us. I know the show's a little different this week, but Ramon and I are holding it down, and appreciate you guys.
What do I need to do? I'll make the same exact show. What do I do?
Oh, huh? What? Nothing but be amazing. Let's keep it rolling. Nate, what up, brother? Let's see. Okay.
Under in that game, under in that Vikings Bears. Nolly's in the chat. I just want to say that. Go under in that Bears game.
I think the weather's going to be bad too. Not positive.
Yeah, well, I'll add one more thing.
Tuesday,
I know
right?
I keep interrupting you. You're trying to produce the show and do a great job, but there is a lot of weather handicapping this week, particularly in college ball. But I've never met a weather forecaster that can actually predict the weather 5 or 6 days in advance, even with all these fancy tools, unless you got a Category 5 hurricane. But nonetheless, what are the Bears going to go out there and look? You're talking about a pick'em game, and the total's 48, 49, and then you're telling me both teams going to be scoring more than 24, 25 points, including the Bears in this game. Oh, it's all the way down. Okay, I see it. It's down to 44 now. Okay, maybe they are handicapped in this spot. Let me at least know the line. I'm supposed to know these things. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, you're good. We got the division game. Indiana. I was zoning out, dude. Usually at the 30-minute mark, I start zoning out, but I got this. Got this. So we got Indy at Jacksonville. Indy, a team that I really have been impressed with. Being in London 2 weeks and coming back, how will that affect Jacksonville? We will see. Minshew has, when he's not asked to do too much, he seems like he does just enough. When he's asked to do too much, he seems to revert to a more mediocre, worse than a mediocre quarterback. I like what Minshew can do, and I like what the Colts have built with Shane Steichen as their head coach. He was the offensive coordinator in Philly, right?
Man,
I like what they've done. I think that's where you've seen the Eagles struggles a little bit, and this might be a spot we're on different sides, but Jacksonville off the win, maybe they're feeling fat and sassy. Dude, I'm going to go with the Colts here.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's roll with it. You said it, though. I think you said what I want to do, and that's why, okay, I'm going to end up on a favorite. I know that's for the purpose of you're almost hanging your hat here on the pool a little bit with Indianapolis. If they're 4.5. They'll get some support. Go ahead.
That Rams game, too, they showed life. And I know Richardson's out, but they're showing life, and that's even with Shaq out. I don't know what's going on with him, but DeForest Buckner seems to be holding it down on the line, and their secondary is obviously a big question mark, but they've played okay, I think. I think two of their guys got gambling suspensions, one tore his knee, so they've really had to find guys, and that is where the issues lie. Maybe Jacksonville lights them up passing, but I'm hoping Indy can continue to show life on offense.
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
It doesn't seem like Jacksonville's lighting up anybody in the passing department right now. Whatever is wrong with why they can't be a little bit better. This is supposed to be a playoff caliber team, and they salvaged it here with a 3-2 with the performance. Yeah, should have saw it coming, Dave. And that was the one you picked Jacksonville on, right? Buffalo. I didn't realize that they had left for that game on Friday. That is not the plan. Who they consult? They paid a guy to tell them to leave on Friday. What is that all about?
That was a bad idea. I didn't know that either, to be honest.
So I even said on the air after I had made the pick earlier in the week, I don't like to go on the air, and I like to stick with the pick. But I was saying I'm having some Buffalo Bills regret, and that was as the game was starting when I was on my show half hour before the game, because of hearing that and seeing that and whatever. But I think it works the other way here with Jacksonville coming back. I think that's 2 weeks over there, and now you're coming back home. And I'm just looking for a reason to get on the Colts. Unfortunately, what you said is when you have Gardner Minshew to do too much, right? Unfortunate for Anthony Richardson. One of my catchphrases, Damon, is once you're injury prone, you're pretty much always injury prone, right? How many Anthony Davises are there? There's a lot. Guys who keep getting hurt, and that's unfortunate. Now, the first time it happened, the second, I'm like, you could take a bunch of different options to be the guy to come in the game late and try to save you, rescue you, keep you in the lead. Gardner Minshew might be at the top of the list of these backups to do that. But when you ask him to do too much, like win the game outright from the start, I think that's where the problem lies here. They're probably live to get this cover for sure. I love everything the Colts are doing. I actually think that Anthony Richardson is going to be I don't want to say that guy, he's going to be fine. He's 6'4". These are the guys that need the training, the reps. I always prefer the quarterback sits and all that, but I'm high on the entire rookie class that pretty much is in there, right? Yeah, maybe one or two are looking so hot right now, but Fields exceeding all expectations at this point. Young, he's the guy that has done it with his athletic ability so far, made some really bad mistakes, could use some time on the sidelines, probably a little bit behind a veteran quarterback. That's why you see a lot of these guys after 3 or 4 weeks, they're back on the bench. But I think some of these guys are a little bit too good. But Richardson's a guy, it feels like he's going to be out of the league in 3 or 4 years with injury problems, unfortunately. And the talent's already on display. It's not a matter of if and when for him. Yeah, passing, you're going to get all that. But when you have the ability to run like this, it just changes everything. And well, that gets you hurt. Anyways, I'm on Jacksonville. Sorry, brother.
No, you're good.
I'll still take him because, and I'm like I said, hey, the stash, he's the man for me too. If they're whatever, remember that first game, Richardson got knocked down at the 4-yard line. He's out, he's hurt. He's what are they going to do? Here comes Minshew, right? The ball's the 4-yard line. Give me Gardner Minshew to do it the last second there, but win the whole game here. Yeah, I like the spot for Indy a lot. I'll take Jacksonville because the line's a little high and maybe a playoff caliber team is supposed to win this game at home right now against a team with a back.
They need it. They do need it because their schedule is generally pretty soft and they haven't looked great in spots they should have. The Indy thing, we'll see how they implement Jonathan Taylor too, but it's been nice. Moss looks.
The Colts are. Hey, it's good time. It's a good feeling considering everything that went on, and look, they got to overcome the owner a little bit, but I'll
speaking of the QB class, we go on to another rookie QB. I actually agree with you a lot with everything. Even Young's not goodness he looks decent. And the way these QBs are in the pocket, Richardson's second half against the Rams is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. He made a back shoulder throw that his guy dropped. And you're just like, he's maybe the most talented quarterback ever, more talented than Vic. It's unreal. Hopefully he does stay healthy because his good is amazing. For my fantasy community out there, Anthony Richardson was averaging 29 points a game, or 29 points per 4 quarters, which is, it's a big hit. But moving on, this game is interesting. New Orleans at Houston. Is New Orleans as good as they looked last week, or is New England as bad as they are? I like what Houston has done, but Ramon, start this one off. What are you thinking?
Well, New Orleans got a good draw last week, right? I mean, they're playing a team that definitely has plenty of issues right now. If you can't get it done at home or whatever, all the luster is off right now, and they're thinking about what to do. What can they do? Is there really a situation where we could see Hoodie out of town going to another team like Washington or something in the future, something crazy like that? So I don't know, but for me, look, New Orleans defense, it's a nice story. They've done a nice job here, but I love it. I like Houston here. Come on. This is all about CJ Stroud. He's going to, this has been awesome so far. Houston has definitely looked, I think, decent enough that this game is a winnable game. I mean, the spread certainly points to that as well. That was the first win of first cover of the season for the Saints. So they're not covering numbers. I don't trust them to win a game here on the road against a Texans team that, hey, this is probably a good coaching situation too. Defensively, it feels like it has to be hard to be the old Texans with the stars that they had defensively, but that's where they're going to hang their hat. And against, whatever New Orleans is running out there, look, I'm all about Olave. I love him. Cabrera, great, way to get back a little bit. But I'm on the Texans here, Damon. This feels like a win, cover. Texans make some noise. We start talking more CJ
team
Stroud.
Total over potentially. Houston, I agree with you. They're building a culture. They're not the superstar by name anymore, but DeMeco Ryans was an amazing hire. He's got the guys buying in. I think if players feel cared for, they're going to do so much more. And I think he gives the impression, and I'm sure he does, he cares about his players, and they're building something there. I really like what their offense is doing, and Stroud's control of the pocket. He does not look like a rookie in his 5th NFL game. I don't watch college, and I know a lot of the knock was he had monsters at Ohio State. Was that Stroud? Ohio State. He had monster receivers there, and he looks good. New Orleans. I'm gonna ask you a question. If you had, you have the Saints roster, who do they win more games with? Andy Dalton or Derek Carr?
I'll just play conservative and maybe call it a wash right now. I mean, I have more concerns with with Carr right now, but
he's not the guy. Before the season, I was saying how he's not that. It's not going to be an improvement from Andy Dalton, and it sounds crazy, but if you go and look at the numbers and you go and see, he stalls in the red zone so much, and that's where New Orleans is. And they cannot get in. If they can't get in the end zone, Carr's shoulder can't make the deep throws. Olave can be a superstar, but if he's not getting the ball, he can't get the ball to Shaheed. New Orleans offense is a real concern, and I do like Houston here and what they're building at home. The Saints at home, a different thing, and I think they got a spot that they didn't even have to play football last week, and because of that, I don't know how they're going to come out this week.
Not very well.
Like Houston here.
I wouldn't think. Yeah,
I wouldn't think so either.
Tough for New Orleans here against Houston's defense. I think Houston's defense is getting better right now. Yeah.
The Will Anderson, is that the rookie? He looks good. The end. I don't know his name fully. Yeah. So next game, this one, the Taylor Heineke Bowl. If he was only playing, Washington at Atlanta. This is a interesting spot. I, as somebody who has a Washington Super Bowl ticket, was just a long shot for the odds. It was like 125 to 1 or something crazy. I do like what they're doing. I don't think they're looking to fire Ron Rivera. They would have just hired Bieniemy as the head coach if that was the plan. I don't understand why they would just so I don't think that that's like a hot seat issue.
You mean retirement home, Ron?
Yeah.
I don't go for
their defense, though.
I don't gamble anymore.
Has concerned me. Their secondary is bad. They looked really bad versus the Bears, and they gave up so many yards. They just did not look good. I don't know if that was coaching. I don't know who their defensive coordinator is. They have superstars on the defensive line. They should be able to get something in the secondary. They just look really bad in the secondary. I don't like what they've done. I do like what Atlanta's done at home. Give me Atlanta here. I like Atlanta with the points too. What about you? What are you thinking?
I feel like this is a good spot to take Atlanta because I think this is going to be one of those that might one of those games that I'm trying to analyze on the Win Your Office Pool show here, Damon, and I feel like this is going to be the game that's going to be maybe one of the split down the middle type of games. So I'm going to take a small favorite here with Atlanta because I like Arthur Smith. When I think of him, I think of the numbers. I'm thinking A Beautiful Mind a little bit. And look, he doesn't have a lot to work with, but for some reason they've done it with a little bit of smoke and mirrors. They're 3-2 coming in and have covered just one of those games. So I mean that to me says a little something right there. To a certain, we do penalize you for not covering spreads, and they're 1-4 against a number with a 3-2 straight up record. But I think that almost means they're kind of overlooked. Washington's getting probably more attention from the public for what they've done, and they're 2-3. So I agree with you. I'm going to try Atlanta. Yeah, Ritter, is it pedestrian offense? Yeah, it might be.
They looked good this last week. So it's just getting their skill players the ball. Drake London, I think, is really good. Him and Mike Evans, so underrated. Very similar players, in my opinion. But London looks good, and if they're not playing from behind, they're a dangerous team. I think Calais Campbell on the defense, they added a lot of pieces on that defense too. And at home, I think they're an NFC South favorite almost. I don't like the Saints. Like I said with the Jags, I've been low on the Saints too. I like what Atlanta's done. It's going to come down to the wire, but I do like what Atlanta's done. Who's Atlanta's second loss? Detroit and Jacksonville last week?
I mean, you look at it right now, David, and there are right now a favorite to win this game by 2.5 points, and that means they will be 4-2 if they hold that. They lost to Jacksonville 23-7. That was the London game, and they lost to the Detroit 20-6 at Detroit, back-to-back weeks.
And they held Detroit to 20, so their defense showed up that game.
And that they were about to go, they knew they had the double decker in London.
Oh, so dude, that makes me like Atlanta even more. We'll see. This is a clear Atlanta spot.
Commanders 3-game losing streak, by the way.
Who?
Commanders 3-game losing streak now, including the loss, to Chicago. Remember by 20, giving up.
Yeah,
the
they look
points.
bad.
So,
and this is
second. You're going back on the road here. Yeah.
All right, let's keep it going. We have a rematch of last year, the craziest ending of last year. We have New England at Las Vegas. Vegas is -3 here. I think that they've looked good. Their defense put it together, and going back to my question, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Derek Carr. I don't understand why everyone hates Garoppolo. If he's healthy, he's not terrible. This is a clear Las Vegas spot for me. I could never take a team that just got the doors blown off them twice. I don't care how good of a coach you are. The body language of that team was dead. They're dead. Christian Gonzalez going down hurt them. Judon going down. There's only so much you can do with Band-Aids. Their offense is not built to score points. Ramondre looks a little slow this year. I don't know if he's still banged up. There's just something wrong, and I don't think it's a Belichick thing. I think it's a roster. Well, he's part GM, so it could be a Belichick GM thing, but I don't think it's a coaching thing. The game they lost, who did they Mac Jones looked good in one game they almost won. I can't remember, should have it brought up. But the dude almost caught the ball on the sideline. But other than that, they do not look good. This is a clear Las Vegas spot for me. I do think Vegas is riding momentum, and I think Vegas believes in themselves. I think they have a clear leader in Max Crosby on the defense. I think that they have enough skill on offense, and I think that with Jacoby Myers too, he's very underrated. And you're seeing the Pats game missing him, so I think Vegas is able to move the ball and score some points here. I like Vegas to cover the 3 as well. How do you see this game? Do you see New England bouncing back at all? Do you see this as a potential value spot at all? What do you think?
The Raiders seem to be the type of team that, can't stand prosperity, but I'll probably still roll with them here in this one just because of the situation with the Patriots does seem pretty bad. And yeah, I had the Raiders last night as a premium selection. So that was, wasn't, totally waving the silver and black here in Las Vegas with the victory. I'll take the win. I don't know if that's even necessarily the way I saw it. I was hoping for more actually from Jimmy G, but I think here's the thing. I've been pro Garoppolo, dating back and all that. I mean, I like quarterbacks that win games. Now, maybe there was a little bit of product because remember, he kind of got his job kind of rolling with the team like the Patriots, right? Because remember the injury to Brady and Garoppolo gets his chance, moves on and whatever. And that's how
5-1 in San Fran to end that year. They were bad or like 5-0 or something.
No doubt. He's the quarterback that has a very high winning percentage. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like. And I thought there was at least some stability with the Raiders yesterday, the game wrecker, getting in there and doing it. And here's a chance against a team that if you're not showing really any explosiveness, it's going to be another ugly affair. Did the total go down yet? I mean, it was 42 yesterday. It's 41 today. Why wouldn't this game? I mean, you look at what the Patriots are doing in some of these games, right? The goose egg last week, 3 points at Dallas. We know Dallas is Dallas, but again, you're an NFL offense. They only scored.
They look terrible
in that win against the Jets, 17. They're not scoring, and I would think this looks like a repeat of last night's game. I mean, the Raiders might win, they might lose, but the final score might be 18-15, and you never know who wins an 18-15 game. But I'm taking the Raiders again. The Patriots are all messed up. We keep saying, right, well, New England, Belichick will fix it this week. This week they'll fix it whenever its time is up. The Mac. And why aren't we sealing? Okay, Zappy came in and didn't look good last time, but a few mop-ups, he's been okay, even dating back to last year. I would have already tried to switch to Zappy. I don't know why we're married to Mac Jones necessarily, because I don't think at this point it's a downgrade to Zappe. He definitely possesses a quicker release, a more willingness to just chuck it down there. I don't know. You can't do much, much more damage at this point.
No, I actually agree. And to be honest, though, with Belichick's history, it actually says a lot that he hasn't turned to Zappe, doesn't it? Because if he was willing to stick with Brady when his star QB came back, he's seen both these guys in practice, right? So his willingness not to go to Zappe might be an indictment on Zappe, to be honest. But Mac Jones' body language is unacceptable, to be honest. The way he reacted after his running back dropped that ball is just not – that's not what a leader does. It's just not. And he's not a leader. He can have the tools. He makes some throws, but – hell, put him Malik Cunningham at this point. I don't know what they need to do. They need something. And I know everyone's saying Belichick's so bad, but like I said, I don't think there's much you can do with it. I like Las Vegas. And next game, this is an interesting one. The Battle of the Greens. Oof. This is very interesting here. We got Philly at New York. Philly -7 has not looked great on the road. What do you think about this one?
Well, I still think they're Philly going up against the Jets. I mean, I can't give the Jets any chance right now in this game to maybe even cover a number here against a Philadelphia team that might actually be using this here to try to get themselves. There's nothing wrong. They're not broken. There's nothing wrong with a 5-0 team here, and I don't know if we're talking them down because they're not going. I don't know. They are smashing everybody, so they'll smash the Jets here and win. I'm sure they can even get the money here in this one. No reason to, other than unless you want, talk about since I won't be with you. But, I love it. Philadelphia and the Niners. Why not? I'm chalky in the NFC, and that's the way we'll go with it. As far as what's gone on with the Jets and Wilson, I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I actually think I don't know if he'd ever be an NFL quarterback, but I don't think he could be any worse with another team. I think the Jets team in general is probably just look, it's a good team. This defense, okay, it's all legit and all that, but I don't know if the Jets themselves are just fixed as a franchise here necessarily, even with Woody. He looks a little eccentric sometimes, and hope Rodgers comes back. Maybe they can find a way to put this together. But they're 2-3 right now, need a win bad. And I think the Eagles, I don't think this is a team that necessarily you overlook, even if it's a non-conference game here in this one. And maybe the line might be a little bit too high. I'm sure it comes down to probably a touchdown game. But Wilson,
what's up, bud? Come here. No. Come here, buddy.
Special appearance.
Oh yeah, I'll grab him. Come on, bud.
The Jets are 3-2 against the spread in their 5 games so far, and a 2-3 record. The Eagles in their 5 wins have 3 covers, 1 game they didn't cover, and 1 was a push. So I think for me, the Jets here, if they can stay within a touchdown, that'd be maybe a moral victory here in this one. The Eagles can't win them all, and you're going on the road here against a Jets team needing it. Can they fix anything that's going on here is my question in this one. The Eagles coming off the game against the Rams, a game where I actually went with the Rams that one. I like the Rams and Damon. So I'll still roll here. I just have
you're good.
I just have to pick a winner here. I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah, no, I think this is an easy Philly cover spot too. The Jets did not look good throwing the ball last week still. Breece Hall torched the Broncos defense, who's absolute ass on the ground at stopping the run. So I actually think this line is a little skewed. Philly fans will travel to New York, right? Like there's going to be Philly fans there. I like Philly here. This is a pretty easy spot. They're an absolute unit too. I think they're not the typical Super Bowl hangover team. I think that they're really good. Jalen Hurts, like I said, but same thing about Fields. I think he's got that leader quality. He's got something to prove, and that really matters. When other people see that from their quarterback, they want to buy in, It matters a lot. Next game is another interesting one. We have the Detroit Lions at Tampa Bay. Two similar teams, actually. What this one? This is a spot that let me hear what you say and then see if that helps me at all.
Yeah, this feels like the spot where you do want to maybe try to beat the field here, because it feels like it's going to be hard even for the average pool player to get off Detroit here, and I'm not sure I can get on Tampa Bay. I do like some of certainly what's going on with Tampa Bay with the defense. I think this game sets up okay for them to be competitive in this game, and I'm going to say they can stay in the. I'm still probably going to roll with Detroit and to cover the spread, because I do think that Detroit is in that group. I'm not including them in the group with those two top teams, probably because of the inexperience a little bit, and maybe green around the edges, but they seem to have crossed the threshold between a growing, budding team to a good established team. And Tampa Bay, we know, can have a lot of issues, especially with Baker. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's kind of like with what we talked about with the stash, right? I mean, look, we're playing a game in week 16 on national TV, and we bring in one free agent quarterback to try to pull off an upset on the Sunday night game of the week. It's going to be a Baker Mayfield, right? We don't, that's right who it's going to be, but not to go up against a team that obviously has, a very strong defense. There's no joke. Right
Hutchinson
now.
Oh
God, this guy!
That interception was one of the freakish things I've ever seen, dude. That was amazing.
It's going to be a low-scoring game. I do believe.
Is it a live bet Tampa Bay spot if they go down early?
No, I'm not sure.
No.
Do they? Look, Baker. Does he throw enough down? Are we not seeing those? I mean, we know he can.
Who is Tampa Bay's
the accuracy on the long ball, right? So Tampa has the weapons, but Baker, look, I mean, like I said, I mean, trust him to make some magic in one game against a mediocre, sorry team, but not against a Lions team right now. I'm looking for spots, David.
They're off a bye. Tampa Bay off a bye. Does that make a difference in anything?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It does help them here in this spot. But I just think I have Detroit as a little bit too elite to be caught in this spot. Look, it's a tough spot. It's going to be a low-scoring game, and that could lead to some type of cover here for the Bucks. This game, might end up 22-19, something in that range. So I think the defense is decent enough with Tampa Bay so far. I think that's what we've seen in their efforts, giving up just 9 points to New Orleans. 25 to Philly there in that game, and 17 to the Bears, the Vikings. But I'm looking for an under here. Detroit maybe ends up getting the money, but it's going to be tough. And I certainly like it. 3, the hook would be dangerous, and probably the money line. That's all we're trying to do. Pick the winner. I will take Detroit one more time.
Yeah, no, this is an easy. No, I shouldn't say easy, but I do like Detroit here. I'm the biggest Dan Campbell believer. I would die for Dan Campbell, and I'm not even a Lions fan. The Lions show that they were turning it around at the end of last year when they won at Lambeau to keep Green Bay out of the playoffs. So them winning in Kansas City was not a shock. What they're doing is not a shock. Their defense is flying all over the field. And is their offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter? Is it JBC? Yeah, he didn't take head coaching jobs to stay in a Super Bowl there. Their offense looks like a well-oiled machine. Goff has control of it, money into that line, and I'm not going against this Detroit team for any reason. If Hutchinson gets a little banged up, it'll hurt the pass rush, but I believe in Detroit, and I do think they need to win as many games as possible because home field will make a difference for them in the playoffs. So they do need every game they can to try and somehow – I mean, they're going to cruise to the division, but they do need, I think, every win to try and get the 2 seed if the Eagles or the Niners falter. it's going to be important. Yeah, I love Detroit. I could talk about them for hours.
Johnson. Ben Johnson's with Detroit.
Oh, it's Ben Johnson. Okay.
Cooter is with the Colts.
Thank you. My bad. Ben Johnson. Okay. I get them. They all look the same, right? No, I get it confused though. Yeah, no, but he's the one who stayed though, right? He didn't take a head coaching opportunity because he wanted to win. Like that means something. Like I don't know. I love it. Yeah. Oh, Goff outdoors. Yeah, true. He looked very bad in Carolina last year, and Carolina, very true, Alan. See, like, I've always been a huge Goff believer, so I do get blinded by that. He does disappear at times. It is very true. I'd have to dig deeper.
Look, before that trade happened, look, there was no reason to believe we just weren't getting an even look, and the Rams got what they traded for.
What a great trade for both sides.
So did the Lions. So there weren't people out there saying that Goff is going to be even the guy to help resurrect this team. You're not going to doubt his talent and ability, and it wasn't like they were picking him up and see if he can win a job. But he's exceeded even their wildest imaginations, I'm sure.
All righty, let's keep it rolling to a NFC West divisional matchup. We have Arizona at the Rams, two teams that have surprised people. A lot of people thought these two teams would be the worst teams in the NFL, but they've both shown fight in different ways. I think the Rams Stafford looked really good, healthy, and with Cooper Kupp back, I mean, God, his route running is a thing of beauty. Everyone was all over Puka, but then when you see Kupp, it's just, so much better. Like his route running is just out of this world. Arizona, I think, regresses to the mean. I think they came out fighting because they were called one of the worst teams, and I think slowly things are going to crumble for them. Jonathan Gannon's done a great job with them. What do you think of the game?
Yeah, heads off.
I'm personally rolling with Connor going down. I don't know how bad Connor's hurt, and their backups look decent, but I think the Rams actually roll here, and we're going to start seeing Arizona. Like I said, the Jamar Chase exploding on them, McCaffrey exploding on them. This might be a Kupp explosion. Kyron Williams has looked really good, actually, and I think that the Rams are showing life and fight, and they can maybe be live for a playoff spot with how soft the NFC is. What are you thinking?
Too bad against for Connor. He's hit the IR, and
it's that bad.
Yeah, he was making play. He was making plays out there. That's that's the sad thing about it. To have someone like that, right? That's the guy we don't want to see go down. We want to see him succeed. So, bummer days on that. Hello, good. Hello, and hello to everyone. So, Damon, look, nobody's wrong when they picked up Puka Nacua, and hopefully you were in auction mode because he's probably not going to be able to return his. I don't know how those things work, but I mean, he's still going to be awesome. But yeah, the workload should change dramatically with the addition, and for the better. I mean, if you have guys like this, I was caught last week a little bit. I maybe came in a little bit too early, but I was like, hey, why not even try a Rams future here? Because once they upset the Eagles here this week, then we're going to be looking at, a lot of momentum for the Rams.
Come say hi.
Daddy, they're trying.
You want to say hi?
They're trying.
Okay, I'll bring it back. So you're liking the Rams here too? Let's keep. Can you lead into the next spot, please?
Well, we
have Sunday Night Football. Oh, I like the Rams, dude. This is I think the Rams actually blow the doors off them. I wouldn't mind an alt line here. Let's Sunday Football, a huge spread. Let's see if you have any angles on this one. This will be a pretty easy pick for me with Buffalo. Come on. Okay, bud, I'm coming. Sorry. Little one. But what do you feel about this one?
Yeah, so I think we're clearly on the Rams there on that last game. So, I think Buffalo rolls, of course. I feel bad for the Giants at this point, but we get too much Giants, I guess, on national TV here. We're trying to flex out of these games, but we're still weeks away from that. So we got to sit through this one. At least hopefully we'll have some nighttime baseball playoff action or something here to take our minds off it, because Buffalo can, I'm sure, win this one. It probably feels like a dead spot, Damon, like maybe the Giants could actually get the money here, but it might just be too close to the spread. Maybe they backdoor it. Jones, whenever they throw it.
Is Daniel Jones out?
We'll check the status, but I think he's going to be playing in this game right now.
Okay.
The current report lists him as questionable, but again, it's been too bad what's happened for not only, I mean, you think Barkley's got an ankle injury. I saw you, weren't you talking up Wandale last week before the show, and he looked good, but he left the game with a concussion last week. So, Giants playing a little bit of tough luck too. There, David. David, you were talking up Wandale on the show last week.
He looks really good, even coming off a torn knee. He looks good. But the bang up, like their offense is just a mess. Well, like they're a total mess. It has been hard luck for them, and they talking like the Vikings. They overachieved last year, and they win a playoff game against the Vikings. Coincidentally, right? They won a playoff game against the Vikings last year. People think they're even better than they should be because they beat kind of another fraudulent team. So they came, and then, like you said, 4 out of 5 weeks, or 4 out of 6 weeks on primetime. Like, that is impossible to start with, and they're playing tough games. They didn't get any like gimme games. Like they've gotten San Francisco, they got Dallas, like Buffalo, and who else do they play on primetime? It's just bad, dude. It's not good for them. Feel kind of bad for them, like you said, and that's rare, but it was just a disaster to start. This is an easy Buffalo spot, and Buffalo needs a get-right spot too. We could see an absolute smashing here. Going back to the London game last week, I was on Buffalo. The Matt Milano injury changed that whole game. When Matt Milano's like, that was what, the first drive, first play? That changes everything. That's why ETN explodes. It changes, though. Now they're missing Trey D and missing him. Can their defense overcome that? I don't know. I was riding Buffalo Super Bowl, but it's going to be tough with the 2 stars of their defense out. Do you think they could overcome that for the rest of the season?
I think so. Look, Milano, I mean, he's out indefinitely, right? So,
Did he break his leg?
They've taken leg injury for sure. They've taken some hits here, no doubt about it. But this is still Buffalo. They're still very talented. They still have a top level quarterback. I'm not gonna,
I love
that. I'm so happy that he realized his mistakes and cleaned it up. So a lot of people wanted to blame the coaching, the offensive coaching change, but sometimes you're full of yourself a little bit, right? You can do no wrong, and you saw the frustration on his face when he made the mistakes. Like, I can't believe I just did that type of thing. Why am I doing that? I'm better than that type of thing. So gotta beat this one down in the ground. I mean, I'm not interested in taking the Giants. I might not even be interested in taking them, like you said here, with that spread, because to me, it does look like a 2-touchdown game here, but that's one of the toughest things to do in this league is to cover that 2-touchdown spread, because you can easily overlook and just know you're going to win, right? And man,
I personally avoid betting big spreads. I'll never do it on unless it's a dog, because that's a lot of points, and they're grown. Nutflush Allen says until their O-line is healthy, pay attention to their team total unders, and I actually think that's a great look because there's no explosion on their offense either. They're freaking dink and dunk.
It was right once JMS went out 2 weeks ago in that game, and they had to shift over one spot and a new center, whatever, and from that moment, right, they had 2 plays in a row where they protected Jones, and you were like, oh, phew, I thought this was going to be a total disaster, and it was. And from that point,
he's moving out of the pocket
9 sacks happened.
More than he needs to. He's running into people. It's a disaster. It really is. And also, it's just a disaster over there. We'll just keep beating on the Giants, to all my Giants fans out there. Also, Graham Gano, maybe, because if they can move the ball but it can't score.
Yeah, he missed one. The great Gano missed one. I couldn't believe it.
They have a good offense to do that. They're not using Hyatt. Oh, I'm back. Oh, okay. Let's move on to
I said the
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I heard you. I said, oh, my God, the great Gano missed one. Isn't he the guy on the Flintstones that was on the shoulder?
No, the Jetsons was Kazoo, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, Kazoo.
Jetsons was Kazoo. At the Flintstones. Oh, yeah, I miss those shows, man.
I called the great Gano. Okay.
All right. Well, we might be on different sides on this one. I don't know. Let's have you start this one off.
Monday Night Football. It could come down to this.
I love Monday night. This is going to be a great matchup.
Call me. We'll chop it.
Yeah. Got you.
You $10, me $10.
Dude, that's McDonald's right there. Maybe half a meal. No, Dallas -2 at the Chargers. I'm sure Cowboys fans will be traveling, so this will be a home game for Dallas. Like I say, Cowboy fans will be traveling. This just seems like a spot that is going to seem like 60% Dallas fans, doesn't it? At least. Herbert, broken finger. I'm not sure about Derwin James's injury. Chargers off a bye. Mike Williams down. What do you think about this game? Can the Chargers? I'm not sure. Eckler should be coming back soon, though. I'm not sure when, right? Eckler should be coming back soon.
Those are all some bummer news, but Herbert, he's going to be his finger injury. He's probable. Eckler, he's actually got a questionable tag, so he's going to try to get cleared. It's an ankle injury, so it's, that's something where, hey, if you've got some movement, if you're a guy like Eckler, you're going to be in there. You want Bosa. He's on the list too, but, man, it seems like he finds a way to get there, and I don't want to say, like, if you wanted to put one guy, you want Derwin James in there as well. You need all these guys at this point. Just throw it out. Don't even put it over on Dallas to maybe compete later on against the Niners in the big game. Whatever, that was an avalanche. Yeah, are the Niners? Yeah, the Niners are better.
That was a mismatch. Whatever. That's what that was.
Still going to get you still might get another chance, and you're going to play a football game. You're going to start 0-0. You could get a turn, anything, right? Yep. But Dallas, nothing wrong. You can throw out a game here and there, but note that you do got to come back here and play, on the road here again. At home with the Dallas crowd certainly there, but still you're traveling back and forth, right, for the two games. So I want those. I want those guys on defense. Did I get it right, Damon?
What's up?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just remembered Van Der Esch is hurt now too for the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, no.
And Diggs being out too. Both of these teams are missing key guys.
So that's kind of my storyline on Dallas, Damon, is why do we go through this year after year with this particular team? Why is it always Dallas? And injuries happen to every team, but the higher profile injuries, or are they just more made of the injuries? Maybe they don't have the depth that a team like Dallas you expect would have.
Dallas does not have depth on their defense. Going into the season, they had the best depth for defense going into the season. They had the best defense, but now with these injuries, it's not the same. Gilmore, Diggs, dude, they were loaded. They're absolutely loaded. But now with the injuries, they're still good, but they're not as loaded. Over on punts. There you go. That's another look, dude. Yeah, all those correlate. I think those are actually all good looks, Alan. Going back to the Giants game on Sunday night.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna say it just because I'm here with you, and everything's gonna be against us, and I'm putting my fan hat on right now. I'm gonna take the San Diego Chargers. Remember that. Everybody, San Diego Chargers. That's who I'm taking this week, and I always tell Damon that I didn't break up with the Chargers. They broke up with me, and when I get enough money from all of my winning picks, I'm going to buy the team from the Spanos family and build a $1 billion stadium with Kroenke. He's going to build me one in San Diego, and we're going to move the team back. So anyways, I'm going to take the Chargers here in this one. Cowboys back-to-back on the road. I got Herbert back a little bit. I will say, like, I think the loss to the Niners brings the Cowboys back to earth, and maybe they were overrated the whole time. They're still one of the top, teams in the league, playoff caliber team. But
they need to get Lamb involved. If they don't get Lamb involved, we're seeing Pollard is not the one.
So good. Like they were starting.
He's amazing.
Did they forget throughout the game?
Honestly, I don't know if they're trying to force the ball to Pollard too much, but he has shown that he needs a complimentary back. Pollard is still good, but he cannot be that elite 1A. I like the Chargers here too. If you're going to give me a game between two banged up defenses and two offenses that could score, give me the better quarterback and the home team, or potentially home team. I like the Chargers here. I do think they are a better team than Dallas. If Diggs and Van Der Esch were healthy, I actually would probably feel differently, but the line would reflect that. I think it'll be a good Monday night game for how crappy Sunday night's going to be. So hopefully that'll be fun. Yeah, dude, I think the Chargers are I love what Keenan Allen's doing. And I'm not a Brandon Staley hater. Everyone hates him. Everyone thinks he's so bad, but the team, you would think they would quit on him more,
Yeah.
If they really hated it.
The Chargers' problems also stem they suffer from, being owned by Spanos. So when the injuries start to pile up, and they pile up for a reason, because they don't really invest in, like other teams do, in training and, those areas where you need to work on your back end of the franchise a little bit to protect things from happening. And that's why they, fall apart, lose close games. They're a dismal franchise here, but I think they're just catching the Cowboys in the right spot here. A Monday night game, you got a road favorite. This usually would tend just to leave you with something here, Damon, right now on some. As we get out of the show, I guess, but road favorites right now over the last 2+ seasons. Now we're into week 6 or whatever. 2 years and 6 with a road favorite. The unders are coming in right now at 68%, and the team is favored by less than 10 points on the road. It's coming in under at 71%. That might not necessarily weigh as a factor in this game, even though the Cowboys are a road favorite, because maybe there is enough explosiveness between these offenses. You see the total's already gone from 47.5 now up to 41, but if anything, that's created a ton of value for people like me. They'll probably end up on the under in this game, because road favorite, for whatever. If you think about the dynamics of what you need as a road, usually, right, a good team's going to have defense. They're not going to be as comfortable offensively on the road. A home team, even if they're a dog, is going to play a little bit better. And so, given the fact that, with the proliferation of a lot of betting and everything, and maybe the totals have just a little bit inflated, that's, I talk about where I do my picks over at Tony's Picks, and you'll see a lot of totals and you'll see a lot of unders. And, when you have road favorites, you can that's where I start the handicap. And then I try to work on an over. That's where I've gone in this game, where I'm saying, look, the defenses have these problems, so maybe that's why that number is going up. And yeah, these two teams have Herbert and all that. But in these spots, road favorites, the games go under very significantly right now in the league.
Well, I think that is a great nugget, and I actually think that, that is a good thing to and honestly, to everyone in the chat, thank you so much, Noli, Ragu, Nate, Alan.
Noli likes that chat.
And honestly, follow Ramon. His Twitter is let me get it up there. I'm figuring this out. I can do this. Wow. Okay, at Ramon Scott Media. He doesn't just do football. He's one of, and I'm not just saying this, one of the smartest sports minds I know. And he's, he knows what he's talking about, and he's well studied. So if you have anything, follow him for good nuggets, and you can catch him on Tony's Picks. Is that the YouTube channel in mornings? At what time?
Yeah, Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 40,000 subscriber powerhouse at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific. And then I'll tell you all about, I can't get on a lot of these shows because I'm a paid tout. I try to think that they say, why don't you just go bet all your own games? Why do you have to sell your pick? It's fun, man. It's fun to get on these shows and, be like, I'm kind of like those old guys from the 80s and 90s where they were come on Sunday mornings and screaming on TV. There wasn't internet. There wasn't YouTube. And these guys, you can see if someone's still around, like Stu Feiner on that Barstool show.
Barstool. Yeah. It's great. Pick them.
These guys just come on the air and scream. And I had those. I had 900 numbers. I had newsletters and all that. So I still love it. And, I'm not going to stop.
Thank you, everyone. Ramon, thank you for coming. I appreciate you so much for filling in. We'll catch you guys next week. Hey, you guys, $20 prize for weekly picks. There's a prize at the end of the year. So if you got in late, there's still a weekly prize. And like I said, my wife won it 2 out of 5 weeks. It's winnable. Like, she does not watch football. And please beat her so I don't have to hear about how she's the best anymore, even though she is the best. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
What up, Who-Bangers and Who-Bangettes? It's your boy, Sniz. And each and every Tuesday, the NFL Pick'em Show, I'll be hosting right before the live sweat with my main man, Damon, and other special guests. We got weekly prizes, we got bragging rights, and I hope to see y'all each and every Tuesday before the live sweat. Bada bing, bada boom.